Late one evening, after the last bell rang, Aiko realized she had left her math book in the classroom. The halls were dim, silent except for the hum of old lights. As she reached the door, she saw a woman standing at the end of the corridor, long black hair, a beige trench coat, and a white surgical mask. "Am I pretty?" the woman asked in a soft, eerie voice. Aiko froze. Her breath caught. "Yes." The woman tilted her head, then slowly removed her mask, revealing a mouth sliced ear to ear. "How about now?" Terrified, Aiko turned to run, but the hallway seemed endless. Behind her, the woman's footsteps grew louder, closer, until, the next morning, the school found Aiko's book on her desk, but Aiko was never seen again. Weeks passed, and Aiko's disappearance became a ghost story whispered in the halls. Some said she ran away. Others claimed they heard footsteps in the empty corridors at night, dragging footsteps followed by a soft voice asking, "Am I pretty?" One evening, Kenji, a skeptic and class clown, dared to stay after school to prove the legend was fake. He brought his phone to film everything. At 7:03 p.m., the hallway lights flickered. His camera shook as static filled the audio. Then from behind a whisper, "Am I pretty?" He turned. The woman was there, hair clinging to her pale face, that same mask. Laughing nervously, he answered, "No." Silence. She removed the mask. Her torn mouth twisted into a wide, unnatural smile. "Liar." The video was found on his phone the next morning. Screen cracked, footage ending with his scream and a single frame of her face close to the lens. After Kenji vanished, the school sealed off the east hallway. Teachers refused to speak about it, and students weren't allowed after dark. But curiosity has a way of spreading, especially when fear is thick in the air. Yui, Kenji's closest friend, couldn't let it go. On the 49th day after his disappearance, the day spirits are said to fully pass on, she snuck into the school with a mirror, a charm, and Kenji's old phone. At 7:03 p.m., the lights dimmed again. The temperature dropped. She stood in front of the hallway mirror and whispered, "Kuchisake onna, am I pretty?" No reply. She held up the phone. It turned on by itself. On the cracked screen, a video. It showed her standing there, but someone else behind her. A woman, pale, masked, getting closer. Long before the school was built, the land belonged to a quiet village during the Meiji era. In it lived a woman named Sayako, known for her beauty. Men adored her. Women envied her, but her heart belonged to a traveling samurai. They married, but he was possessive. Whenever she went to the market, he accused her of seducing strangers. One night, in a jealous rage, he dragged her into the forest, pressed his blade to her face, and slit her mouth from ear to ear. "You'll never smile at another man again," he spat, and left her to bleed under the full moon. But Sayako did not die. Her spirit lingered, twisted by betrayal and sorrow. Over decades, the village was abandoned, trees cut, concrete poured. A school rose where the forest once stood. Sayako's spirit was buried beneath it, trapped, faceless, forgotten. Until students began whispering her question, "Am I pretty?" Riku, Yui's brother, searched the forest beyond the school and found an old shrine. Beneath rotting wood, he uncovered a blade wrapped in blood-stained cloth, the samurai's sword. That night at 7:03 p.m., he stood in the empty hallway. "Am I pretty?" came the voice. Riku held out the blade. "Sayako, I found what was taken from you." The ghost appeared, trembling, torn mouth shaking, her eyes locked on the blade. Then, for the first time, she didn't attack. She wept. Her form dissolved into ash, and the hallway went still. The curse was broken, or so he thought. The next morning, Riku found Yui's phone buzzing in his locker. A video played, her smiling, but behind her in the mirror's corner, a new shadow stirred. Am I prettier than her? Riku's heart raced as he stared at the screen, confusion flooding his mind. He couldn't shake the feeling that the shadows weren't done with him yet. As he replayed the video, he noticed the shadow shifting closer and whispering, "I'm still here." Panic set in. Was this new presence linked to Sayako's curse? Riku vowed to uncover the truth behind the shadow, knowing that he had to protect Yui. The forest held more secrets than he imagined, and the echo of Sayako's weeping still haunted him. Would he face the darkness or succumb to its pull? That night, someone saw a girl wandering the east hallway, hair covering her face, a mask pulled tight. When they asked, "Are you okay?" she looked up and whispered, "Am I pretty?" It wasn't Sayako. It was Yui. Only this time, she smiled before taking off the mask. The curse hadn't transferred by accident. Yui had chosen to take it. In the moment between life and death, she had seen Sayako's pain, her power, and welcomed it. Now, she walks the school not as a victim, but something worse. A ghost who remembers what it feels like to be forgotten. And she doesn't want release. She wants followers. The whispers in the classroom grew louder as Yui's legend spread. No longer just a name, she became a warning. Students clutched their books tightly, their hearts racing, knowing that her presence means something dark is near. Those who dare invoke her name do so with caution, feeling her eyes watching, always ready to share her curse. Yui wanted them to remember, not to be forgotten, not like Sayako. As the school year progressed, the line between living and haunting blurred, and Yui reveled in her power, drawing more followers into her chilling world. A week after Riku vanished, whispers filled the school again. Students talked about hearing footsteps in the east hallway, seeing flickers of movement in mirrors, and receiving strange messages on their phones. Am I pretty? Share with 3 friends, or else. At first they thought it was a prank, until a girl in class 2B went missing after deleting the message. Her mirror was shattered, her phone left behind, screen cracked, just like Kenji's. By the end of the month, it wasn't just one ghost anymore. Every time someone saw Yui in the mirror, she wasn't alone. Behind her stood others, students with torn mouths, blank stares, and stitched smiles. Her followers. She was building something, not just fear, a cult of the forgotten. And it all started with a question. So now, when your phone buzzes at 7:03 p.m., don't answer, don't look, and whatever you do, don't reply.